Good afternoon. There is one point that I want to address, although I think it's quite redundant, but nevertheless, some people say, yeah, we can't intervene like with the Israeli matters because for several reasons. But you should understand. I mean, we fear for the creatures that you call titans, like the Venusians, mostly females that live in Israel. You need to understand. You say yourself that you are aware of the poisoning that they are subjected to, and there is also electricity. Like they have like a chip. You said yourself. That they were subjected to like treatment like they are colons due to their older like victims. So if we intervene, they can just kill all of them, and we don't want it to happen. So my answer is the following. This stupidity, this question is part of the problem of people that are used to move, they only move their mouths and tongues for many decades, and they forgot how to use their arms and legs. I would say, a sub problem of this issue, because the issue is not whether the Israelis will commit like genocide on the Titans if foreign forces will intervene in the situation. The issue is whether foreign forces will find like their motivation or incentive or like philosophical inclination to use arms and legs and not only mouths and tongues. Because the question is, obviously it comes from the minds of if people if people actually say it when they mean it and not just as an excuse, it certainly it signifies like inherent problem with the usage of arms and legs. These are kind of people that do not know, they forgot how to move their arms and legs. They are so used to the movements of mouths and tongues that they only act in this strata, like in this level of the atmosphere of movement of mouths and tongues. If people abroad, people that have any political power and military power, were inclined to intervene in the genocide and the subjugation and the slavery that happens in Israel, and specifically in my own slavery and the slavery of my two daughters, if they were inclined to do it, then this question would not have been arise at all, not have been reason at all. You don't need to think about whether the Israelis will commit genocide. They already commit genocide, and they do it for many, many years. What you need to think about is your own future, or the lack of. You need to think about the fact that the earth is doomed and humanity is doomed. And if you want to save anything, if you want anything to be left from your descendants, you need to move your arms and legs. Movement of arms and legs is the answer to your problem and to your philosophical questions. If the Israelis will commit genocide more than they do now, the answer is simple. You need to use your nuclear weapons to annihilate the threat of genocide. It's very, very simple. And if you were creatures that are inclined to use arms and legs instead of mouths and tongues, this would have been obvious to you. It's not obvious to you not because it's irrational, it's totally irrational, because you are used to movement of mouths and tongues. You need to immediately move any kind of movement of mouths and tongues within your ranks. This movement is the end of mankind. Your mouths and tongues are the real horsemen of the apocalypse. They are the things that bring the apocalypse, the end of the world. Your mouths and tongues. You need to move arms and legs to stop the Nazi state. And all questions will be answered just by you starting to move arms and legs.